All going to be swept up. We've got a video which links to on the document, which shows you how plastic is overwhelming the oceans. Most of it, the rubbish, is plastic. You may have seen this. That's the Pacific Ocean. And those two blobs there, and there, that is rubbish. It's so thick it appears you can walk on it. Mega sludge. You know what size is estimated to be? 540,000 square miles. The world's largest rubbish dump, or the Pacific plastic soup, is twice as big as the US continent. And it's starting to alarm scientists. What is the largest man-made object in the world? Answer: the North Pacific Trash Vortex. North Pacific Trash Vortex. That thing there I just showed you. That's the largest man-made object. The astounding amount of rubbish there is, for every kilo of plankton, and that is the microscopic food of the fish, there's 6 kilos of plastic junk. Moore, who saw this when he was sailing some time ago, estimates there might be 100 million tons of plastic circulating in the North Pacific. More than 1 million seabirds and 100,000 marine animals die every year as a result of plastic rubbish. Syringes, cigarette lighters, toothbrushes have been found inside the stomachs of dead seabirds. The rubbish can also be dangerous for humans because tiny plastic pellets in the sea can attract man-made chemicals which then enter into the food chain. Each year the world makes 5 trillion plastic bags using about 20 billion barrels of oil. And each bag will take thousands of years to break down. Now it doesn't decay. It doesn't decay. It just breaks down into smaller and smaller bits, right down till it's very tiny. Now, do you think that the eternal God intends to live in a sewer? You see, we have actually started eating our filth in more than one way. Because these microscopic pieces of plastic resemble plankton, even right down to the shapes and colors. And so the fish eat them. And then we eat the fish. It's a wonder we are alive, isn't it? And I will just toss in, and we're now in the process of using human embryos, the kidneys from embryos, to flavor food. Artificial flavoring. They won't tell you that on the packet, they just will say artificial flavoring. I'm putting up the documents on the website. Read them. It's real. This isn't any joke. This isn't any intellectual exercise. Some of the people that write may think, what are you on? What are you on? You're all just trying to see if you're intellectually smarter than I am. I'm not trying to be smart. I'm telling you, you need to have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. Otherwise, you are through. Simple as that. You know, we have sent space junk to far distant places. No, so not just around the Earth, as I just showed you here. You know, it's not just around the Earth. Not just like that. It's all over, going right into the depths of the universe. Do you think that's what God wants? No, He doesn't want it that. He didn't make it that way. It's got to be swept up. It's got to be cleaned up. We have utterly polluted the beautiful earth to the extent that it, like the rest of the creation, is groaning. You think God is happy about that? That His perfect creation is groaning? The animals are groaning, the fish are groaning, the trees are groaning? The earth isn't doing what it should do. The atmosphere is polluted, the food is polluted, the water is polluted. You think he's happy? Would you be happy if you had made it all and seen it messed up the way we have messed it up? You know, my garden borders on an alleyway. And you know, people throw all sorts of things in there. I can find cigarette lighters, beer tins. I actually found 3 rolls of wallpaper, unused wallpaper, whether they were stolen from some shop or something, dumped over my back fence. Romans 8:22, for we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. The basic essentials of life are being polluted. There are thousands of ships of all shapes and sizes, including nuclear ones, and nuclear weapons on the sea floor. We dump vast amounts of toxic waste into the sea. You can read the reports. They tell you it's not safe. It's not safe to go into this beach and that beach. No, don't go there. You get sick. I grew up in the West Indies, and you know, much of the water is clean. But I have to tell you, I have seen small traces of flotsam coming up on the beaches. Not huge amounts of it, but it is there. So nowhere is escaping this. We have polluted the soil with all sorts of chemicals, and we bury vast amounts of rubbish in gigantic holes and mines. And we acknowledge, we openly say that some of this stuff will exist for thousands, even millions or billions of years. Depleted uranium, they tell us, will stick around for 4.5 billion years. And they're bombing the living daylights out of Iraq with the stuff. They're still doing it. They use it in Afghanistan, they use it anywhere. 4.5 billion years. Meanwhile, there's the recycling scam. Do you think, I asked if you thought the eternal God had an intention to live in a sewer? Now, I now ask you, do you think that the eternal God has any intention to live in a rubbish dump? Now, additionally, and even more importantly, we have polluted the earth by our never-ending wars, our murders, and our countless hundreds of millions of abortions worldwide. Do we think that the eternal God wants to come and live in an abattoir of dissected human bodies? Genesis 4:10. I've got a video on abortions and embryos. You need to look at that as well. Genesis 4:10. And he said, what hast thou done? This is when Cain slew Abel. What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. Genesis 4:11. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. The earth doesn't give us what it's supposed to. So we pummel it with pesticides and artificial fertilizers and heaven knows what, and produces things that look like food but certainly don't taste like it.